God, this thing is just huge. It's massive. Makes me feel really inadequate with my little guy. What? What is going on? So, it's pouring rain. My tarp works phenomenally well, but here's my boots. Just outside of the tarp. Alrighty guys, thanks for joining me again in the workshop. My name is Hunter Wilkins, this is Father and Forge. Today what we're going to be doing, and actually today and tomorrow, is we're going to be working on this little knife. I did a nice little hammer pattern on here. Still got to drill out the handle, still got to actually do some rough profiling on here too. I don't like exactly how these little finger grooves are, so we're gonna take them down a little bit, smooth it out. Just give it a better feel to it. I like where this is. It just needs to be a little bit less extreme. Same thing back here. I'm gonna push this back and bring it down a little bit. But that's neither here nor there. I gotta get through the other part first, but before I do that, I want to start on some scales for it. So I've decided we're gonna go with this stabilized wood. These are no, you can't see them too well. These are stabilized wood scales from Exotic Blanks. They've got a nice little bluish color to them. I'm trying to see if I can catch the light a little better here. Kinda. You can kind of see. They got some blue in there. They got a little green in there. I think it's going to look really cool. Also, what I'm going to do is this is going to be the spacer. Each side of the spacer, I'm going to throw some orange micarta on there, or not micarta, orange G10. G10 is the word I was looking for. I'm going to throw some orange G10 on the side of there. I think that'll look pretty cool. Basically, since I switched to using G-Flex epoxy, so I switched to using G-Flex, and this has a longer set time, but its cure strength is way higher than any of the 5-minute or anything less than that. This stuff is great, and everybody that I talk to into knife making and scale making and stuff recommends the G-Flex. So we're gonna be using the G-Flex. Now the downside to that is I have a lot longer cure time, so I'm gonna get these spacers set up first, and then I'll have to put them into the scales. I'm not gonna try to squish everything together at once. I think I'm just gonna get ahead of myself, and it'll be a recipe for disaster. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the G10. I'm gonna sandwich the spacer, and then we'll go from there. I'll go ahead and cut these to the size where I'm gonna put the spacer in, and then we'll continue from there. And I'll finish working on the knife where I want it. So I'm gonna decide where I want to put this. Now, a cool trick that I've been shown before, I'm not going to do it for here, but basically if you take the tang section of your knife, put the tang down on a piece of paper, outline it, cut out that area, then you take your paper with your tang shaped hole on it basically, and you can put it on the scales and kind of envision exactly what spot you want to do. Now I'm pretty sure about where I want to go on this one. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep the front up in this side, I think. I really like that dark blue up in here. So I'm going to try to incorporate some of that into the front of it. It's going to come up onto the handle just a little bit, up to like this point, up on the blade, I'm sorry, on the blade about this point to a point like I did the last one. And then it'll come down, be a spacer right in here with that G10 and the stabilized wood, and then the bottom will still be the remainder of these scales. So that's the plan. I gotta mark it out and get going. So I'm gonna do some cutting real quick on the bandsaw. We'll go ahead and, like I said, we'll cut the spot for the spacer, and then we'll go and cut the G10 and the spacer and glue those up, and then we'll glue these back up tomorrow with everything. So that is the plan. And then I need to go on to beveling the blade and getting these touched up like I said I was going to. So got a little bit of work to do, but we'll get there. I just started doing my own scales and stuff, so I'm not like an expert or anything, but I've talked to a lot of people about it and gotten a bunch of tips and stuff. And I mean, the key is totally just keep everything as square as you can. The more accurate you are with this, the better results you'll have in the end. And if you think for 1 second like, I'm just gonna slap it together, you're gonna see it in the end and it's not gonna look great. So try to be as precise as you can when you're doing this. There you go, that's going to be the spacer. I think that'll look cool. So you're just going to get a little pop of orange in there, up against that blue. I think it'll look cool. I've got my one thing of orange G10 down here. Got my piece of wood here, and then I've got my other piece of G10 there. Put it on the wood. G-Flex likes to slide. That's the good thing about it though, is you have plenty of time to play with it and adjust it. I'll have to leave those and check them tomorrow, see if they're ready to go. I did in the meantime, I went ahead and cut the gap for those spacers to go in. I will have to use my secret technique to get the 90 degrees on those. Because I'm not going to be able to do it accurately enough on the table sander, bench sander. So I'll do those with my special trick. Thank you, Gas Forge Works, for that one. Well, I had to do a brief intermission there, but I just got something in the mail that I've been waiting for. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might know that I just won a giveaway from Wheelless Knives, and this is the package. It's massive. That thing's long. I knew it was a big knife, but so we're gonna open this thing. I'm so excited. I love knives, and I never win anything, so to win this was pretty spectacular. Make sure there's no extra goodies in here or anything. Why don't I have I don't have another sharp knife out here to open this. I'm so excited! Oh, this is a machete. It's a machete. Damn, look at that. Oh, look at that butt shot. Wow. Damn, that's a nice knife. This is a nice little camp chopper here. It's got really good weight. This is ADCR V2. Got some nice jimping on there and 3 brass pins, lanyard hole. I'm gonna start doing lanyard holes on my knives as well. God, that thing's a beast. Look at that. I could cut somebody's head off with that. I'm just kidding, I wouldn't do that. Good edge. I really like this finish. He spent a lot of time finishing that out. God, that's nice. This is a nice knife. I like this thing a lot. I might have to EDC this thing and get arrested. Nice sheath, dude. I'm guessing he made the sheath. I didn't ask, but this is really a nice piece of work. Wheelless Knives, you freaking killed it on that one. That's awesome. I'm so glad that I won that. Super cool. It's really, really cool. Here's one card. Wheelless Knives. Wheelless Knives, everybody. Wheelless Knives. Check him out on Instagram. He's got a Facebook as well. Give him some advertisement. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. But check him out. Definitely check him out on Instagram. It's Wheelless Knives. I'll throw the little thingy up here somewhere. Maybe right there. So, Wheelless Knives. Freaking awesome. Yeah, liners are G10 micarta, handle materials micarta. So yeah, that's fantastic. I like the info cards he has. I gotta make some of these up for my stuff too. God, super happy about that. That's awesome. Again, Wheelless Knives, thank you so much for that. Thank you for throwing that giveaway. I don't know what else to say, man. Appreciate it. Now I gotta get back to work on my little guy. A tiny knife. Size, I feel so inadequate. Alright, back to working on this little guy. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna grind these down, and then I'm gonna start setting the bevels on it. I'm just gonna go for it. Alright, we're getting ready to wrap up part one of this build. It's where I'm at. It's where I'm taking my bevels. I did a little bit of a swedge there too, so I think it's looking pretty good. I'm trying to keep everything nice and even. I'm getting better at the grinder. The grinder's not been my strength throughout me learning this process and everything. But I'm getting better at the grinder, which is a good thing. It is tricky, and I've tried to do different things. I ended up today, I thought, well, I have the work rest. It's this thing right here. So this work rest, I took it off. I took that off when I started using the grinder first, and then like today I was just thinking, I'm like, why the hell don't I put it back on and just use that as a guide for my bevels instead of trying to freehand it and messing up and then having to go back and fix it. And that worked really well. My plunge lines are a little bit off, but that's nothing that I can't fix, so I'm not worried about that. I've got my edge brought down to a decent thickness to heat treat. Now what I'm going to do is I really want to go ahead and get these holes drilled, and I've got something special in mind for that. Alright, so I've got this 1/2 inch hollow tube. It's hollow, I assure you, I just can't catch the light. It's hollow. Anyway, it's 1/2 inch steel hollow tube. I really wanted to use that as the pins. Now the way I designed this scale set and everything, I don't know if it's gonna look right, but I don't want to stray from what I planned. I really wanted to do it, so I think that I'm just gonna do it and see how it turns out. I think it's gonna look really cool, but I've never tried to do this, especially that big. So we'll see. This is all experimentation, folks. This is all just me learning the old trade. So the key here is go slow. I'm gonna go through several drill bit sizes. I'm gonna start at 1/8. That's normally what size pins that I use, so I have a bit that is really, really good for drilling through steel for that. So I'm going to use that first, and then we'll slowly start stepping up our bit size until we get to 1/2 inch, which is pretty big. I didn't really want to do 1/2 inch, but they didn't have 1/4 inch stock, and I didn't want to wait. So there we go, me being impatient again. But anyway. Alright, we're just moving up through the sizes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I just had a catastrophic failure on the drill press. The back spindle, the one from the motor, actually kept popping off. It kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and I kept, what the hell? So I tightened up the set screw, which I think the set screw is just worn out or something, and it's just not grabbing properly. So I tried a few different things to fix it, none of them worked, so now I have some epoxy in there. And if that doesn't work, I don't know what the hell it is. So fuck this thing. This thing's gonna work, or I swear to God. Anyway, we're not quite to 1/2 inch yet, but I'm gonna let that cure. I'm not gonna go ahead and try it now. I just want to go ahead and let it cure, get going, and then we'll finish this up tomorrow. So we got a lot accomplished, so I'm pleased with today's work. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be able to get the holes drilled the rest of the way, get a heat treat on this, get our scales glued up, and then we'll be good to go. So that's it for this one, part 1 of this series. I don't know what to call it yet. We're just calling it part 1 for now. So as always, thank you for watching. Please check me out on Instagram. Check me out on Patreon. Check out my Etsy if you're interested. Like and subscribe. That's the big one. Please like and subscribe. That means a lot to me when you guys do that. You don't even know how much that means to me. So please like, subscribe, check out Instagram, Patreon, blah, 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 blah. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.